Hi students, welcome to lesson number 33, Social Mobility. Individuals are normally recognized through the statuses they occupy and the roles they enact. Not only the society is dynamic, but also the individuals are dynamic. Men are normally engaged in endless endeavor to enhance their statuses in society, move from lower position to higher position, secure superior job from an inferior one. For various reasons, people of higher status and position may also be forced to come down to a lower status and position. People in society continue to move up and down the status scale. This movement is called social mobility. Now let us discuss about the objectives of this lesson. The main objectives of this lesson are: number 1, to explain the concept of social mobility. Number 2, to discuss about the characteristics and types of social mobility. Number 3, to discuss about the factors that promote social mobility and the positive and negative consequences of social mobility. Now let us discuss about social mobility. Social mobility may be understood as the movement of people or groups from one social status or position to another status or position. For example, the poor people may become rich, the bank peons may become bank officers, farmers may become ministers, a petty businessman may become a big industrialist, and so on. At the same time, a big businessman may become a bankrupt and the ruling class may be turned out of office, and so on. Now let us discuss about the types of social mobility. Social mobility is of two types. One is vertical social mobility and second one horizontal social mobility. Vertical social mobility refers to the movement of people or groups from one status to another, and it involves change in class, occupation or power. For example, the movement of people from the poor class to the middle class, from the occupation of the laborers to that of the bank officers, from the power position of the opposition to that of the ruling class. Then second one, horizontal mobility. Horizontal mobility is a change in position without the change in status. It indicates a change in position within the range of the status. For example, an engineer working in a factory may resign from his job and join another factory as an engineer and may work in more or less the same capacity. Similarly, a teacher may leave one school to join another as a teacher. Now let us discuss about the forms of vertical social mobility. Vertical social mobility assumes different forms, among which the following may be noted. Number 1 is upward mobility, number 2 downward mobility, number 3 intergenerational mobility, number 4 intragenerational mobility, number 5 structural mobility. Upward mobility, as the term indicates, refers to social ascendance or upward movement of the individuals or groups in the status scale. It denotes the said movement from a lower social position or status to a higher social position or status. It reflects social improvement. For example, A retail businessman who earns lot of profit may become a wholesale businessman. In the same manner, the son of a mason through educational attainments may become a university professor. Both of these examples of upward mobility indicate an improvement or ascendance in the status of the concerned persons. Downward mobility. This type of mobility denotes social descendance or social failure on the part of the individual or group. In spite of their attempts to go up, some individuals go down in the status scale. Sometimes individuals who fail to maintain their social, political or economic positions lose their statuses. It means individuals' attempt to go up in society is not destined to be a successful one. Often they stand to lose their positions. For example, big businessmen who have invested huge money in business may often incur heavy loss and even become pauper. Number 2, people in high offices might be demoted due to their corrupt practices and so on. Then another one is intergenerational social mobility. Intergenerational social mobility is a change in status from that which a child began with the parents' household to that of the child upon reaching adulthood. In simple words, it refers to a change in the status of family members from one generation to the next. For example, a plumber's son becoming the president of the city corporation or bus conductor's son becoming the IAS officer. Then another one is intragenerational mobility. The mobility taking place in personal terms within the lifespan of the same person is called intragenerational mobility. It refers to the advancement in one's social level during the course of one's lifetime. It may also be understood as a change in social status which occurs within a person's adult career. For example, a lecturer in a junior college becoming a professor at the university center after doing his doctoral degree. Another one is a person working as a supervisor in a factory becoming its manager after getting promotion. Another type of social mobility is the structural mobility. Stratum or structural mobility is a kind of vertical mobility. Structural mobility refers to mobility which is brought about by changes in stratification hierarchy itself. The term structural mobility refers to the vertical movement of a specific group, class or occupation relative to others in the stratification system. Structural mobility is a type of forced mobility, for it takes place because of the structural changes and not very much because of individual attempts. For example, historical circumstances or labor market changes may lead to the rise of decline of an occupational group within the social hierarchy. Now let us discuss the relationship between social mobility and social stratification. The nature, form, intensity and magnitude of social mobility depends on the nature and the type of social stratification. Class and caste are the two main types of stratification. In both the systems, same kinds of opportunities are not provided for social mobility, because in both the societies the factors that determine the statuses of the individuals differ radically. There is a close link between the way in which individuals obtain their statuses and the nature of social mobility. In the caste system, the status is determined by birth. Since birth cannot be changed, the status which is determined on the basis of birth cannot be changed. For example, a Brahmin born as a Brahmin dies as a Brahmin. Caste statuses cannot be changed. Hence, the caste as a form of social stratification does not facilitate vertical social mobility. It is for this reason the caste system is called a closed system and the caste-ridden society as the immobile society. In a class system, opportunities are provided for social mobility. Here, the status is determined mainly by the talents, intelligence, wealth and achievements of the persons. The status is not ascribed by birth, but achieved by individual attempts. For example, by his endless efforts and struggles, a laborer may become the owner of a factory. A salesman of a business house may become the owner of the business firm, and so on. So, there is a scope for the improvement of the social status in the class system. Hence, the class system is called as open system and the open class society, the mobile society. Causes of vertical mobility. Now, let us discuss about the main causes for vertical mobility. Vertical mobility is present in some form or other in all societies, whether they are relatively closed or open. In fact, mobility seems to be an inherent trait of all stratified societies. There are some obvious causes for it. The first one is the necessity of filling in emptied or vacant positions. In most of the societies, some upper positions are filled in for a fixed period by some persons. On the expiry of their term, they will have to be replaced by some new persons. It means the inevitable social conditions help the new persons to be elevated to high positions. If these new persons are chosen from all the strata of society, it provides a chance to the substantial number of people of different strata to achieve upward vertical mobility of social ascendance. Second aspect is obtaining eligibility by imitating the lifestyles of the upper strata. There are various criteria by which the social status of the people is evaluated. Lifestyles represent one such criteria. Hence, people in the lower strata always try to emulate or acquire the ways of life, manners and lifestyles of those who belong to the upper strata. In the course of time, it may become possible for the people of the lower strata to qualify for membership of upper strata. For example, people belonging to the lower caste in the Indian society are trying to acquire higher prestige and social recognition by imitating the lifestyles of the upper caste people. This process is known as Sanskritization. Third one is to fill in the social vacuum created. Because of a lower birth rate within the upper strata, a social vacuum is created. This can be filled in by persons recruited from the lower layers. For example, if the owners or founder directors or general managers of the private companies or industries are not having children, or if they are too young to assume high offices, then the relatively efficient individuals occupying lower positions get a chance to assume high posts. Then fourth aspect is inability to perform the tasks assigned. The unfitness of many individuals to perform the poorer functions relevant to their stratum often causes vertical mobility. This unfitness may be caused because of various factors. For example, owing to physical or mental sickness, accidents, old age, family problems and such other factors, some people occupying high positions may find it difficult to carry on the functions assigned. Under such circumstances, the need arises for replacing these persons with different ones. Then fifth aspect is effect of widespread changes in the social, cultural and political environment. When widespread changes take place in the socio-cultural environment of groups and their members, vertical social mobility may be caused. Then sixth point is readiness for mobility. Providing opportunities for mobility alone is not sufficient. The concerned individuals must have the mental willingness and the physical preparedness for mobility. All the people are not equally interested in availing of opportunities for mobility. Some are not ready to leave their family and their birthplace even if attractive avenues are offered to them. Rural people, illiterate and less literate people are said to be less prepared for mobility than the urbanites and the more literate people. Further, people who have been living in a particular place permanently show less interest in mobility than those who are forced to migrate to faraway places. Now let us discuss the factors that promote social mobility. Though all the societies permit some amount of mobility for their individual members, no society provides equal chances for all the members to achieve social mobility. Even in a relatively open class society, upward mobility is not open equally to everyone. For example, middle class children typically have learning experiences which are more helpful in gaining upward mobility than the experiences of lower class children. Overt discrimination against racial and ethnic minorities, lower class and lower caste persons seriously limit upward mobility and protect the children of the upper classes and castes from downward mobility. There are some structural aids to mobility. Anti-discrimination legislation is an important factor in this regard. In the same way, publicly financed job training programs leading to marked increase in employment opportunities and modest gains in income for many lower class and caste people are factors helping mobility. In addition to the structural factors which determine the proportion of high status, well paid positions in society, there are certain individual factors that greatly influence as to which persons get those high status positions. Other things being equal, the talented usually earn more than the untalented. Yet, it is a fact that not all people are equally talented. While it is impossible to measure individual ability differences satisfactorily, we assume that they are important factors in life success and mobility. Some such factors may be briefly examined here. The first one is education. Education is an important mobility ladder. It is only through education that higher social positions are acquired. It makes possible the upward movement in the social structure. Today, white collar jobs are increasing in a larger number than the manual jobs. This means that more people are profiting from the kind of education that will fit them for these jobs. Education is not equally important for all careers. College and professional degrees are essential for careers as doctors, engineers, chartered accountants, advocates, professors, etc. These degrees are helpful but not essential in business ownership and operation. There is a general belief that education has a magical power of radically improving the positions of individuals in society. Then second factor is occupation. Mobility can take place through a change in occupation from father to son. This is a function of economic opportunities. Where the opportunities are boundless, the trend is for a son to try his career in another and more highly paid occupation carrying a higher status. This is the most significant trend today. Mobility takes place through change from one occupation to another involving a change in status. Further, mobility may also take place through promotion within the same occupational group. Though always possible, this is open only to a few. Among manual workers, it is virtually ruled out. In the professions where promotions are very less, chances for this type of mobility are comparatively less. Through achieving seniority within a given occupation, this type of mobility could be achieved. Then third factor is economic activities. Economic activities also provide opportunities of social mobility. Agriculture, business, mining, fishing, hotel industry, film industry, etc., for example, represent income fetching economic activities. The quantum of income amount of property and the available avenues of making money normally influence the rate of social mobility, and its magnitude and its effects. Then fourth one is religious institutions. Religious institutions also provide opportunities for vertical mobility. Religions such as Christianity, Islam, Buddhism and Hinduism have paid attention to this aspect. After obtaining the state recognition during the rule of the Roman Emperor Constantine, the Christian Church played an important role in helping many individuals of the lower class to achieve social ascendance. It had selected a few capable slaves, semi-serfs and commoners to become church officials. Even in India, social reformers and reformation movements launched by them helped many people belonging to lower classes and castes to achieve social ascendance. The religious conversion process has often helped a few to achieve social ascendance. Then fifth aspect is political institutions. Political institutions also provide opportunities for social mobility, if not for all, at least for a few. For example, those who enter government service at a young age would often assume a very high office over the years, either through seniority or through selection. The reservation policy of the Indian government too has provided lot of opportunities for the scheduled castes and scheduled tribes. Scheduled tribe people to achieve social ascendance. Political opportunities often make ordinary people as big leaders and national level administrators. The sixth aspect is family and marriage. Family also assumes importance in the study of social mobility. As Peter Worsley has pointed out, studies of social mobility have considered family as one of the influential agents contributing to vertical mobility. It is quite common to observe in India that sometimes the entire family lends its helping hand to the daughter or the son to achieve success in his educational business endeavors. Sometimes marriage becomes a determining factor in social mobility. For example, hypergamous marriages are helpful for unmarried women to attain personal ascendance in the status scale. On the contrary, a girl practicing hypogamy would lose her status and suffer the risk of social descendants. Now, let us discuss the consequences and importance of social mobility. Social mobility is the manifestation of the dynamic nature of society. Societies are not static but changeful or dynamic. Individuals who constitute the basic social units of society are also moving up and down in the status hierarchy. They also move from one place to another and from one occupation to another. Not only are individuals mobile, but even the groups are subject to mobility. Social mobility leads to some consequences or effects. Some of these consequences or effects are positive in nature, while some others are negative. They may be briefly examined here. Now let us discuss the positive consequences of social mobility. Social importance of mobility consists of its positive consequences. They are also referred to as the gains of mobility or benefits of mobility. The benefits of mobility are: number 1, social mobility provides opportunity for the expression of individual talents. Social mobility makes it evident that a talented individual is bound to achieve social ascendance by means of his talents and efforts, irrespective of the stratum to which he belongs. Social mobility becomes inevitable if the most important functions of the society are to be performed by the most capable persons. Then second, social mobility acts as a safety valve. According to 𝗧𝗦𝗔𝗧 and 𝗧𝗦𝗔𝗧, providing opportunity for social mobility virtually means creating a safety valve to escape from the dangers. Since the lower classes are provided with an open chance to enhance their social statuses or to enter into the status positions of other upper class people by means of their performances, they do not normally organize themselves to dislodge the upper class people of their statuses. Social mobility becomes inevitable and essential from this point of view. Then third aspect is social justice. D.V. Glass and others have felt that providing equal chances or opportunities for social mobility to all social classes is a democratic commitment. According to them, a democratic society has to depend upon an egalitarian opportunity structure. Then fourth aspect is job satisfaction. Social mobility is inclusive of occupational mobility also. Most of the instances of social mobility are occupational in character. In the traditional societies, for example, traditional caste society, occupations are normally hereditary in character and hence children are obliged to follow the occupations of their parents, whether they have a liking for it or not. Now in modern industrial society, things are different. People need not stick on to their parental occupations. They have a vast opportunity and freedom to change their occupations. This opportunity for job selection or change has contributed to their job satisfaction. The fifth aspect is improvements in lifestyles. A person who gets into an occupation or profession as per his capacities and expectations is likely to be more satisfied with it. For the very same reason, he may work sincerely, put in more efforts and earn good income also. This higher income or economic rewards help him to improve his lifestyles. For example, a lower class man, after obtaining the middle class status, will definitely pay attention to improve his style of life. He may purchase a vehicle, wear relatively costly dresses, get better education for his children, construct his own house, and so on. Social mobility many times helps economic improvements. Then sixth aspect is opportunity for competition. Social mobility is of great importance in helping individuals to improve their capacity and work efficiency. It provides motivations for progress and higher attainments. It makes individuals active, alert and dynamic. It keeps the individuals fit to life in a competitive society. It is important to note here that the societies that provide greater opportunities for social mobility are also those that entertain and encourage competitive values. Now, let us discuss about the negative consequences of social mobility. It is normally believed that social mobility is good and supportive of democratic ethos. Supporters of democracy and social equality strongly advocate that opportunities for social mobility must be improved for all. A closed class system which thwarts the fulfillment of individual personality is criticized because such a system deprives society of the contributions of talented people. And now let us discuss some of the important aspects related to this. Number one is rising expectation leading to dissatisfaction and frustration. Upward mobility is not always advantageous for a society. A mobile society arouses expectations which are not always fulfilled, thereby creating dissatisfaction and unhappiness. Then second aspect is social mobility often demands geographic mobility. People are often made to move from one geographic area to another if they are to accept new prospects in life. This results in a painful loss of treasured social ties. Further, new physical and social setup demands new adjustments. These adjustments may often bring in new fears and anxieties. Such anxieties and tensions are bound to be very high, especially at present when the whole world is experiencing the complex process of globalization. Then third aspect is high rate of mental illness is associated with mobility. An offer of promotion is normally associated with the burden of new responsibilities. One who is ready to accept such offers must be mentally ready to shoulder new responsibilities, face new challenges, and compromise with new situations. Any failure in these areas brings tensions, anxieties, and mental worries. Then fourth aspect is downward mobility also creates mental disturbances. Mental anxiety and tension also goes with downward mobility. In fact, a number of studies have reported that downward mobility is associated with many unpleasant accompaniments such as poor health, marital discord, and feelings of alienation and social distance. It is clear that social mobility may be understood as the movement of an individual or group from one social status or position to another. Social mobility may be classified into two types, namely vertical social mobility and horizontal social mobility. Vertical social mobility assumes different forms such as upward mobility, downward mobility, intergenerational mobility, intragenerational mobility and structural mobility. The consequences of social mobility are: number 1, social mobility provides opportunity for the expression of individual talents. Number 2, social mobility acts as a safety valve to escape from the dangers. Number 3, social mobility provides an opportunity for social justice and job satisfaction. Number 4, it improves the lifestyles of the people. Fifth, it encourages competitive values.